What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the summer season of series number 1 here in Forza Horizon 5. I hope you guys did enjoy the last video where we played through and got the Unicorn V2 from doing the It's Raining Sideways Championship. If you haven't seen that, definitely go check it out. But today we're going to jump into New Kid on the Block to unlock the Hyundai Veloster N, and you'll see the car restrictions for that are going to be A-Class 800, and it has to be a super hot hatch. So I've got 3 cars set up. I'll go ahead and get to the championship, and we'll see you there with our first car. All right, so this is our first car here. It is the 2009 Ford Focus RS, and this will be the cheapest option available if you have to buy a car for the super hot hatch game, using the tunes that I'm using at least. This one, the car itself costs 25,000 credits, and the tune that we've got on it, and that share code for the tune, along with the creator's or the tuner's name, will be up on the screen now. But the tune will cost you 54,000 credits, and then the car itself is 25,000 credits. But that is the cheapest car that we're going to use today if you have to buy them like from the auto show. You might be able to get it cheaper on the auction house, so that's always something to keep in mind. But I want to give you, kind of raw prices if you had to go out and buy the car from the auto show. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the first race, and I'll see you there. All right, so as we enter the championship, it looks like it is going to be wet. So let's see what races we have. We have at least 1 circuit race. We have 2 circuit races, 3 circuit races. Okay, good deal. All right, so Emerald Circuit is going to be our first race. I want to make sure that difficulty. Okay, so yeah, it does seem like it just automatically defaults it to highly skilled, which is good in case you play lower and don't remember to put it up to highly skilled. So let's go ahead and see what we can do in our 2009 Ford Focus. We're actually going to be using 2 Ford Focuses today, but we'll use the second one in the 3rd race. So we are moving up the pack. It's a little slidey. It is wet on the track though, so I'll give it that. And just chalk that up to, me not actually using the braking line like I should have. But we are up into 1st. Thing is a quick little hatchback. Drifting around the corner there like we know what we're doing. Hit the e-brake. All 3 of the cars that I'm using today are all-wheel drive. Just because, these championships are so much easier when you're using all-wheel drive cars. So I will always use all-wheel drive, just so that you guys can see, the tunes that I'm using to effectively get these championships, the seasonal championships, completed. Because there's no sense in wasting time with rear-wheel drive when you're just trying to, blow through these and get the cars and the rewards and stuff. But we are winning by a fairly good margin. And we're even doing some drifting around the corners, basically just sliding around those corners. So this thing's definitely manageable. Just make sure that you kind of, pay attention to your driving line. Make sure you're hitting your braking points, because it will slide if you don't brake soon enough. We're almost done with lap number 2 though. You get killed every time on that corner. Whatever those fences are, they just slow us down by a ton. All right, so we have 1 lap left. I think since we've got such a pretty good lead, I think I'll just go ahead and skip towards the end of the race. Just because there's no sense in you sitting here watching me go around this circuit one more time. So I will see you towards the end of that final lap. Right, so around the final turn, took that a little wide. Yeah, this definitely is a very viable car if you are, conscious of your money in the game. That's probably one of the best ones. I think it is the cheapest hot hatch itself, I think, at 25,000. So again, you can buy them from the auction house, and you might even be able to get it cheaper, and it may even come with some of the parts that you need. So, but that's one race down. As you can see on the far right there, we did get 20 points. And so for these seasonal championships, you do have 3 races that you have to do, and you have to do all 3. You can't just do one. You have to do all 3 to complete the championship. And you don't actually have to come in first in any of the or you don't have to come in first in all of the races, is what I should say. If I hit continue, those 20 points translate over to this leaderboard, and this is the leaderboard that you need to come in first at, or on, at the end of those 3 races. So you can see I got 20 points for coming in first. Second place gets 16. As long as your points, or at least as long as you have the highest amount of points at the end of the 3 races, you're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into our next car and into our next race. Okay, so here's our second car here. This is the 2011 Audi RS3 Sportback. The tune the share code for the tune will be up on the screen now, along with the tuner's name. So if you want to check it out, we'll see how it does in this video, and I'll be able to give you a recommendation whether it's a decent car or not. It looks pretty sick. It's got, just a random vinyl or design from the community on it, but yeah, it's a really sick little hatchback car. So I'm hoping, we've got high hopes for it. So we'll go ahead and jump into the race, and I'll see you there. All right, here we go. Arch of Milegi, and let's go ahead and get it going. Let's see if we can get off the line pretty quick. That Audi Quattro all-wheel drive. So this one was all-wheel drive from the get-go. I think actually the Focus was as well. And so the last Focus we're using, I know for sure, is all-wheel drive. Woo, coming in hot. Still a little wet. It is the wet season. Summer is the wet season in this game, which is totally fine. It's not snow, so we'll take that all day. It will be interesting to go into the seasons that do have snow, and I mean, it might be, I doubt it's the summer that there's snow on the volcano, but very well could be. Up at the first we go, though. Yeah, this handled it pretty well. It's handling really well. It's got a little bit of understeer, but if once you use it once, you'll kind of get a grasp on it. So not a bad tune at all by any means. Definitely just need to be a little conscious about the understeer, but once you get it going, you'll have it going for sure. Something I should mention too is you don't have to use 3 different cars for these events. I do this just to show more content on the channel, to be able to give you guys more content and help out, people as well. So, because not everybody will have all the cars. I had to buy 2 of them on this episode, so I want to be able to, help out and just provide you guys some extra content. Like I said, you don't have to use you don't have to use 3 different cars. You can pick one and do all 3 races with them, and that's what I would suggest you do, because you'll get used to how that one handles after that first race, and you'll be able to, do a lot better on the second and third race with that specific car. Unlike me, where I'm just struggling to keep this thing on the driving line for whatever reason. So just not paying attention, and not paying attention to the braking line, and talking is distracting. So we've got a really good lead on the Drivatars again, going into the 3rd lap almost. So I think I'll go ahead and skip towards the end of this final lap, and I'll see you probably right back here in a second. All right, so here we are again on our last lap, and go across the line with a little style there for that in cinematic. Wasn't as sideways. Ooh, that looked really good coming out of that, though. I was going to say, it wasn't as sideways as I would have liked for the looks and aesthetics, but we absolutely killed it that time. The Drivatars are just now finishing 10 seconds behind me. That's crazy. So definitely a good tune. That is the 2nd cheapest tune, so right in the middle. The car itself cost $42,000. The tune that I was using cost $43,500 credits, not dollars, I guess. But you can see I got 20 more points there. If I hit continue, we are up to 40 on the championship. So we're going to go ahead and move into our final race and jump into that newer Ford Focus RS. All right, And as I said, we're moving into the newer Ford Focus RS here. The share code for the tune, along with the creator's name or the tuner's name, will be up on the screen now. This is probably going to be the best car, I would hope. It was very OP in Horizon 4, as far as you could take this all the way up to S2 class and still be decently competitive. But we'll see how it does here. This will be my first time driving it tuned. I think I've driven it once stock, possibly just driving it around. But this one cost 59,000 credits from the auto show, and the tune cost 43.6 thousand credits. So a rather expensive car if you're buying it to soup up. But again, you could probably find it in the auto or the auction house much cheaper than that 59,000, and you may be able to find one that has parts on it that you might need. So we'll go ahead and jump into this last race and knock it out. All right, Horizon Mexico Circuit. So let's go ahead and get it going. It's a wet pavement, is what it seems. I think this one had a double raindrop. I don't know necessarily what that means. I could be wrong. The other ones might have had that too. I may just not have seen it. I think this is going to be the best handling car, just based off of its stats. And this is from a tuner that I used tons of tunes on Horizon 4. His name's Grundy. If you've been around the channel, you definitely have heard the name before, because I can't suggest his tunes enough. They're usually, well, I shouldn't say usually, they're always good. I don't know that I've ever had a bad tune from him, so we'll see what we can do here. This one seems to be a little bit more towards the handling side, which is fine, because we've got, some tight turns coming through here. It's got a little bit of understeer. Again, it may just be because I haven't driven it yet to get used to it. So we'll see what we can do, if we can improve how it drives for us after we learn to control it a little bit. Yeah, I think I just needed to. So it's got understeer, but if you accelerate into it, it kind of picks it back up. So I think that's decently good. Let's see if we can't catch up to first place here. It's always good when the drivatars actually give you a little bit of a challenge and don't absolutely rubber band way out in front of you though. There we go, up into first, around that corner, and we'll see how it handles around this around this lap, and then we may do the whole skip to the last lap thing. Let's jump inside for a minute. Usually don't drive inside, but look at those reflections, or the glare rather. Maybe reflections off the dash on the windshield. See them very slightly there. This game just looks so good. They did such a good job on the looks of this game. There are a few bugs currently, but that's expected with a game this big that launches on so many different platforms. So in time they'll fix it. It's not a big deal. It really hasn't been anything that's been game breaking. Some online features have been hit or miss, but again, online features with the launch of a game are usually hit and miss anyway with such a big launch. So jump outside, look at those reflections on the hood. You see the the checkpoint there. As we go through the festival, you even see all of the festival through here. That is so cool. It's so crazy that we're in a day and age where this is possible on a screen in a video game. Just absolutely mind-boggling. And again, this is 1080p. I think I have everything almost set to max. There's a few settings that aren't set to the highest, but they're the second highest. And my computer's, my graphics card's an older graphics card. It's a 1070, so it's not terribly old, but it's not it's 2 generations old, or 3 generations old now, I guess. So it's not awful, but the fact that this can still run this high is just amazing to me. So I was very, very, very pleased when I figured out that I could run the game in pretty high settings. But I ended up talking that last lap, so we're just gonna see our way to the finish line around this last turn. We may hit a nice little e-brake dab, drift around. Oh, don't spin. Oh, we spun. Okay. Oh, we barely got him. Too much of the e-brake. All right, finish first. Barely got him. That had to be like a 1/10 of a second. Yeah. So, all right, 20 more points there. So that'll get us 60 in total on the tournament. And then that should unlock the, what was it, the Hyundai Veloster? Yeah. So the Hyundai Veloster has been added to our garage. All right, so there we go. That is the 2019 Hyundai Veloster N, which the game totes as being a hard-to-find car. So if you've got the credits and the time, definitely worth picking it up, just because it may be pretty rare in the future. And I think it is the only Hyundai. Let me check. Yeah, it is the only Hyundai in the game, so we can actually press to redeem our reward, and that gets us 3,000 experience right there. So pretty good deal there. So you get essentially the car and 3,000 experience. So not a bad deal, but I hope you guys did enjoy or found the video helpful. If you did, definitely leave a like on the video. Definitely get subscribed for future Forza Horizon 5 content just like this. But I do hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you in the next video.